So there's a book that I put off reading for a while because I had a suspicion that it might upset me. And it did upset me, but I also think it's a very important book, so let's talk about it. This is The New Age of Sexism by Laura Bates. You might recognize her name from another book of hers called Men Who Hate Women, which is a deep dive into the manosphere and incel culture, among other things. So when AI really came into the public consciousness, one of the first places that my mind went was that it was going to be used to hurt women. And while this is an issue I've definitely kept up with, this book made me realize that it's somehow way worse than I thought. But this book is not just about AI. It covers the following: deepfakes, the metaverse, sex robots, cyber brothels, image-based sexual abuse, AI girlfriends, and then there's 2 chapters at the end, designing AI and solutions. If some of those words don't get me censored, I don't know what will. This book really demonstrates how societal biases and misogyny can make their way into emerging technologies like AI or the metaverse. These technologies then become tools that not only perpetuate harm, but even take it a step further. The stats are pretty staggering, and the examples that Laura Bates gives are heartbreaking. For example, 96% of deepfakes are non-consensual pornography, 99% of which features women. And I was horrified when Laura Bates was able to give several examples of this happening not to women, but to girls as young as 14, with their schools taking essentially no action against their classmates that had done this to them. What really stood out to me in reading this is how few safeguards there are to prevent these kinds of things from happening. And the people carrying the burden for lack of oversight are almost always women, minorities, or most horrifyingly, children. Reading again from the book, to date, there are no international conventions or general principles specifically designed to protect victims of sexual violence and exploitation through the deployment of deepfake images. So we have a problem. I use deepfakes in this video as an example, but this book goes on to describe so many other ways that harm can happen through new and developing technologies. This book is a very tough read, but it isn't necessarily fatalistic. Bates argues that this moment in time is our chance to do better. She describes creating a world in which safeguarding is a foundation, not an afterthought. It means acknowledging that there isn't an acceptable level of human sacrifice for the launch of a new platform or product. And I could not agree more, and I hope you pick this book up.